Head over to BoardGamePrices.com to find the best price on Grimm Masquerade and thousands of other games. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Grab your mask and put that thing over your eyes because today we're going to a ball. We're going to a masquerade. We're going to be trying to sort of hide who we are and not let people see or reveal us. And we're all going to be popular fairy tale characters trying to stay hidden. Today we're taking a look at Grimm Masquerade. This is for 2 to 5 players. Takes about 30 minutes to play. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. Grimm Masquerade is a deduction game where each round a player will get a secret character. This character wants to get 3 of these artifacts in order to win, like the beast wants 3 mirrors. But if they get 2 of the artifacts that they don't want, like 2 glass slippers, they're revealed in there. They can't win that round. Now the board displays the 8 possible characters in the game, and it also displays the 2 types of artifacts that they want and don't want. The ones they want are called boon, and the ones they don't want are called bane, but I'll just say good or bad just to keep things simple. Now the game is played over 3 rounds, and whoever has the most roses at the end wins, and you'll get roses for doing things good in the game. At the beginning of the game, you'll end up drafting an artifact that goes in front of you. Then, on a player's turn, you will take 1 card from this artifact deck off the top, and you will decide one of 2 things. Either it's going to go in front of somebody else that you choose face up, or it's going to go in front of you. Let's say we go give this to another player. Then you'll select a second card, and because you gave the first one away, you have to keep the second one. So whatever one you do on the first card, you got to do the other one. So each turn, you're going to take 2 artifacts. 1 will be given away and 1 you'll keep. Here we have glass slippers. Now this is always secret, but I'm going to show you this now. If you remember the beast, if I ever get 2 of these in front of me, I'm basically going to be revealed and I can't win this round. So I don't like having those glass slippers in front of me right now. Now let's say the player that I gave those treats to was their second one. Now, if the player who you gave this to, if their second one is their bad artifact or their bane artifact, they must flip their character card over and they're out of the round. In this case, it shows here and on the board which one of the bad ones for them. Because they got 2, this player has been revealed. Now, since we were the one that caused that to happen, we would get a rose, which essentially are points in the game. Now, when someone is revealed like that, you'll basically cover them up with a broken mirror, showing that nobody else can be that player. But they end up taking these and putting them in their hand, and then when it's their turn, they still get to take a turn. They will actually take a card off the top of the deck, they'll add it to their hand, and they'll be able to give an artifact to another player. Because they can still get roses if they're able to unmask somebody else. Now let's say someone gives us, you remember we're the beast, let's say someone gives us a second crown. Now because we have 2, this reveals something about us. Since we didn't get unmasked, everyone knows that we're not Rumpelstiltskin. Let's say we're the red player, we would put this here to let everyone know that we can't be them. Now conversely, if we end up with 3 crowns, we also reveal something about us as well. What that means is everyone knows we're not the evil queen, because if we had 3 crowns, we would have just won this round and revealed ourselves, so everyone knows that we're not the evil queen either. Now on your turn, after you've taken 2 artifacts, kept 1 and given 1 away, you can, if you want to, discard any 2 artifacts that are the same type from in front of you to the discard pile and activate one of these 3 actions. This one's always available each round. You can guess the identity of another player. If you're right, you get a rose. If you're incorrect, that player that you accuse gets a rose. Or each round, there's 2 other actions that you can use, like peek at the guest list, look at 2 unused character cards, then shuffle them back in. Now you know 2 people that somebody isn't. Or you can make a toast, draw 2 artifacts and give them to 1 or more players. Now there's a bunch of these cards and only 2 come out each round. The game is 3 rounds long, so there'll be 2 additional actions each round. Now turns will continue like this until either one player has gotten 3 of the artifact that they need to win the round, they would just flip it over and the round would end immediately, or if there's only 1 player remaining that hasn't been unmasked. And that player will essentially get the rose for that round. 1 point for the first round, 3 points if you win the second round, and 5 points if you win the third round, so you can come back from being far away. Now after that round, everything's going to get shuffled back in. You're essentially going to start the game over again for a new round. You play 3 rounds. Whoever has the most roses at the end is the winner. Now there's some advanced variants you can add to the game for more depth. There's wagers. Now anytime you're unmasked, you can essentially go through this wager deck. There's 1 for each character, and you'll select 1, and then you'll secretly place it down in front of you. And then if this is the character that wins the round, you'll actually get the amount of roses that that player got for winning the round. There's also an action. One of the actions in one of the, that might come up in one of the rounds is when you discard 2 artifacts like normal, you can take the action that says, take the wager card of the character you think would win. In this case, you can actually take your own character card betting on yourself. You can also play with treasures. Everyone starts with one of these during the round, and on your turn, instead of having 2 artifacts that you discard to take an action, you can, if you want to, use one of these. It's sort of a wild artifact, and the artifact, discard them both to take one of those actions from the action cards. Now you might be doing this to get rid of your Bane, your bad artifact, or you might do it with a different one, sort of to bluff or just to take the action. You can also play with the special ability cards. At the end of the round, whoever has the least amount of roses will get the special ability card of the character that they were in the previous round, and it just gives them a one-time sort of ability that helps them sort of catch up. All right, first of all, it's obvious, I think, that this game has amazing art. It is fantastic. It really draws you in, especially using all those sort of fairy tale characters that most people are familiar with. It's got, the presentation of this game is absolutely top-notch. Looks beautiful on the table. I like that this is sort of a light family deduction game. I feel like there's not enough of these. Deduction is actually my favorite genre of games, but it's also the genre of games I have the hardest time getting people to play, because a lot of people don't like the sort of logic and deduction aspect of games, but I like that this one's sort of a lighter one, that you can probably get to the table a lot easier than some of my other ones, but still have some deductive elements, but have people that don't necessarily always like deductive games actually play this because of the theme and the cards and the art and things like that. I like that every action that someone does gives you some information about them. I mean, you're always watching what they're doing. Ooh, okay, they took this artifact. This was the first one they drew. What are they doing with it? Ooh, they're not taking that. They're putting it over here. Why did they not take that? Is that their Bane artifact? Or, oh, they gave this one over here. So every time they do anything, it's giving you information. You're just trying to sort of study people and figure out what's going on and why are they doing what they're doing. And that's sort of that deductive aspect that I really liked in the game. I like that when you're giving a player a second artifact, it can be risky, right? Because you could either give it to them because you're trying to get them revealed. So if you give them a second artifact and it's their Bane one, then they're revealed and you're going to get a rose. But if you give it to them and they're not that one, you're either giving them the opportunity to take an action on their turn by spending those 2 cards, which is going to help them, or you're possibly maybe even helping them win by if they get a third one and that's their the artifact they need to win, then they can do that. So I like how it's a tricky sort of balance when to give cards, what do you want to do, and things like that. And I like that even when you do get revealed in the game, you can still score and you're still in it. It's sort of a player elimination, but you're not really eliminated because you're still taking turns. You're picking your cards up, you're giving them out. You have lots more choices of which cards to give out now. And you can still, reveal people and score points. I think that's really cool. It keeps everybody engaged throughout the entire round, whether you're eliminated or not. I personally like the bluffing and sort of double bluffing and things like that. And there tends to be sort of this meta thing where, oh, you did this the first round, or you did this last game. Are they doing it again, or are they doing something different, completely different, but making me think I think they're going to be doing this because they did it last time. There's a lot of that goes on in this game. One of the games, someone got rid of one of their good artifacts right at the beginning in the first draft, and they really tried to throw people off, which basically tried to make it harder for them to win by getting their 3 artifacts, but it allowed them to try to be the last one standing because it was going to be less likely people were going to guess them because they threw away their good artifact right at the beginning of the game, which was interesting. So yeah, lots of bluffing, double bluffing, things you can do to throw people off. I like that the scoring allows for comebacks, where each round it sort of ramps up with 1, 3, then 5 roses for whoever wins. And I like the advanced variants, the wagers, the treasures, the abilities. If you're playing with kids or people that, if you don't play a whole lot of games, the base game is perfect to start with. But if you're a seasoned gamer group, I would just throw them all in right away. They definitely add more depth to the game, makes the game more fun. Any negative? Sometimes luck of the draw can change the game, especially in the last round. If on your first card in the last round you draw your second Bane artifact as the first card, well, you're not going to give it to yourself, and other people know that. And so if you take a first card and you give it to someone else, they're going to go, oh, well, they didn't want to give themselves that one. Yeah, I'm gonna go point the finger at them and they're this person. And it's a little bit obvious sometimes. So sometimes the luck of the draw, especially in the last round where the points are the most, it can kind of throw your game off. But again, this is a light, quick game, so it's not that big a deal. Also, if you don't like bluffing or deduction, because this has pretty much both of those, it might not be the game for you. Again, I'd say bluffing's a big part of this game, trying to misdirection, throw people off, do things that aren't intuitive, just to like not let them guess you. If you don't like doing that, or if you don't like trying to figure out what is behind the meaning for them doing that, and it might not be for you, but it is a very fun package. Even if you don't like those two genres, I think you should give this one a try. I think it's an excellent family deduction game with some bluffing there. So hopefully from this overview you can see if this game is for you or not. This has been the Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships through board games by helping you find the next one you'll love. This video was shot on a Game Topper, the ultimate gaming accessory. After successfully fulfilling their first Kickstarter, Game Toppers are taking the world by storm. Now you can get your own portable gaming top by participating in Game Topper's Kickstarter 2.0 starting June 25th, 2019. New styles, new sizes, and amazing new game mats. Go to GameToppersLLC.com to enter a full Game Topper system valued over $1,000 to also bring you to the Kickstarter project page and to late pledge.